Hey, my name's Ben, and this is my beautiful wife, Meiema. We've been married for just over 2 years. We have an incredible opportunity and privilege to teach music to people of sort of any age, but specifically the sort of teenage years. We have a really big heart for upskilling the next generation of creative people, musicians. We're sort of making this video because a couple of hours ago, Justin Bieber put up an Instagram post just saying how he wants people to post videos about change and about how they're dealing with change and how change is affecting their lives and I guess how we handle change. I think his album's called Changes. It's coming out soon. It's going to be good. So yeah, that is why we're making this video, but I think it's cool to just kind of get our story out there a little bit as well.
It's important to be able to share your story and talk about it. And it's really cool that artists like Justin Bieber are using their platform to be able to open up their platform to this sort of discussion. So I guess we kind of thought about that and we were like, actually, we've got a story, and what we're about to talk about is something that a lot of people probably haven't heard about. So yeah, we thought, might as well. We're not doing anything today. So today we thought we'd start talking a little bit about our journey of change over the last, I think 2 years. So 2 years ago, I had a workplace injury that led to a chronic pain condition called CRPS. So basically, Justin wrote like, what is the change that you've had to? He actually spoke about it, but he also wrote like in a little comment section like, what's the change that's been in your life, or what season of change you're about to go into, and how are you going to adapt to that, and how are you going to grow? And so we just kind of thought, man, that's a good question. Like, how have we had to change, and how have we had to adapt our lives around this huge thing? CRPS has been like huge. It's affected so many areas of our life. So for those of you who don't know what CRPS is basically a pain condition. For me, it's affected me for 2 years now. And it's believed to be caused by damage to or malfunction of the peripheral and central nervous systems. There is no cure. Some people get better, some people don't. I know a person who's had it for like 10 years. It's super rare, and some people know people who've had it, some people don't. I only know probably 2 people who've had it, and one person's gotten better, the other person who's had it hasn't. And that's pretty sucky. I don't know if I'll get better. I hope I do, but otherwise, not sure. The way it's kind of like affected our life is I haven't been allowed to work again since I've had it, because it affects the strength of the entire left side of my body. So I can't really carry things. My memory's been affected, my motor control. So sometimes I've been like past something and I my hand will like spaz out, and like it's like pretty embarrassing like sometimes when it does happen. It's like pretty debilitating, and I'm often in pain, and like the medication that they put you on is like almost as bad as the condition itself, because the side effects that come with it, it's like, oh man, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And it's pretty isolating as well, because like you look normal, but like the days that you do go out are days that you feel strong and you feel okay, but then on the back end of that is like days and hours and weeks that you've just been in bed lying just in pain, swollen, like feeling barely even human, and that's like a lot to adapt to. But you also figure out like what triggers your pain and what triggers, like sometimes my whole like left side gets super swollen and it's like pretty rough. But it's been super strange because I'm pretty independent and stubborn. But it's cool because you learn, especially like most married people will tell you, you got to learn how to like this thing called like, you got to like merge your life together, and you got to like figure out how to do life together. But then for us, it's been like, how long had we been married before I got CRPS?
I don't know, just a few months.
Yeah, like literally.
Under 6
yeah,
months.
we had been married for less than 6 months. Then I got CRPS, and it was like, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely changes how we, I guess, thought that our life was going to go. I think on the positive of it, we sort of moved countries. We got married in New Zealand, and I'm from Australia. We moved back to Australia.
I'm from New Zealand.
Yeah. We moved back to Australia, maybe not entirely because of the condition, but it had a lot to do with it. We just sort of thought we needed to sort of position ourselves somewhere different. But it's kind of cool because it's led to us.
Because I couldn't work, so.
Yeah, she couldn't work. And me being Australian, it was a bit easier, us being in Australia.
The pay is way better in Australia.
In New Zealand. And the fuel in New Zealand is so expensive. Anyways,
It's like
so
$2.50
or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway,
Ooh.
we moved back to Australia, and it sort of was, I guess, the catalyst of what we're doing now, which was what we love doing, which is teaching and upskilling the next generation. And we went from 3 students to 30 in like under a year or something crazy like that, which has been pretty amazing. But I don't know if we would have moved here when we did, or we would have sort of started doing the things that we were doing if it wasn't for Meiema getting that condition, which we wish she didn't have it, of course, but things change and you kind of have to learn to adapt. I guess other areas we've had to adapt is little things like, I guess most of the time the guy works and then the girl cooks and whatever. I know it's probably a bit old school, but you know, it sort of works like that usually. But because she can't work and she's in a lot of pain all the time, I sort of had to figure out how to up my game in terms of making enough money for both of us and finding different ways to earn money, but also then sort of finish work and cook dinner and
He's gotten good at
do
cooking.
that sort of thing. Yeah, it's good. I've gotten better at cooking, but just little things like that, where the household sort of runs differently to maybe somewhat how another household would work, because we sort of have to manage how Meiema's feeling, how the pain is, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I mean, she's a better cook than I am, but I cook more because of that reason. But it's fine. I mean,
I love cooking though.
yeah, I don't know. I guess that's one of the ways that things have had to change, just in your physical capacity.
Another good, like a good thing that's kind of come out of this is, I guess I never like set aside time for my own music stuff. I kind of like just like wrote songs and didn't really do anything with it. But in like the 2 years, I know I've only done like one song, but I've actually been writing heaps of songs. I just haven't done anything with the rest of them. But in that time, like I felt really convicted to release one song, my first song. It's called Meant for Me, and I really wanted to set apart my first song for the Lord, and so I released Meant for Me, which is a song about my personal revelation about what Jesus did for me on the cross. So yeah, that's what I did, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. That was a big step for me in terms of actually doing something with my music, and I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't had hurt myself and ended up with CRPS, because I probably never would have had the time for it, because I've always been someone who worked very hard and worked crazy hours, like I went to work first thing in the morning, and then I went to another commitment, and then I came home at like the middle of the night, and then I did something else for a few hours, and then I went to sleep, and I went to work the next morning first thing. I just never had time for my music, and now I'm like have all the time for my music.
Something I've sort of been telling Meiema over the last year is like, you're a full-time musician now. Like, you have no other choice. And I know that it's a dream for her, and I know for myself that I've got things that I love and my passions, but for some reason it's so easy to procrastinate with the things that we actually know we're meant to do. And I know that there are things that I need to be doing, but because of, I guess, fear or whatever, I don't really put in the time for it, because, I mean, if you don't try, you don't fail, right? But I think it's kind of cool that Meiema's had to... Well, she's got nothing else to do, you know. She's in bed, so she may as well be on her laptop working on a song or something. It's been really cool to see that. I don't know if you talked about some of the symptoms for CRPS, but anywhere from stubbing your toe can just upset your entire body, and Meiema will be in bed for a week. Vision problems, headaches, memory stuff, just constant pain, pins and needles, all these sorts of things. And so what she said was right. You look normal. You look like just a normal human being, and so people look at you, oh, you're not sick. But and then sort of there can be sort of that pressure on you to just have the same capacity as everyone else, but really behind the scenes there's more going on. And I guess something you wanted to allude to in this video was, I guess, putting a little bit of light on CRPS and
pain conditions in general.
All sorts of chronic pain conditions and things that sort of happen more internally. And know that if you're someone that suffers with this sort of thing, that you're not alone. I know there's Facebook support groups and... Yeah,
they've been really helpful for me. You can't underestimate the importance of community when it comes to chronic pain conditions, or I guess any sort of thing like this, because it can be really isolating and lonely going through changes, any sort of change like this. It's really nice to know that you're not alone in these sorts of things. So yeah, I guess it's cool to kind of come on here and talk like this. I've been really blessed because I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my support groups or even my husband, to be here with me through this pretty crazy time where I've kind of lost all my independence. I can barely even drive myself anywhere, and that's the worst thing in the world. One of, anyway, besides from the rest of the other things. And there's there's worse conditions out there, and it's pretty rough. It's a rough world out there, and it's nice to have communities like this. And yeah, so I guess good on you, Justin. Who knows if you'll even ever see this, but it's pretty cool what someone you're doing. Will. Yeah. We hope it helps someone. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool that we get to talk about I guess our life changes and our journey and what we've been going through for the last 2 years, and that people like Justin Bieber have kind of opened up their platform and given people like us the opportunity to talk about how we've adapted and grown with, our journey and our challenges. Hasn't been easy, but it's been really cool. As we briefly talked about, it's been really cool being able to run our business with the Pending Co. And release music and be able to be a positive influence on the community of creative people in our town and even broader than that. And we hope that we just keep growing and I know the sky's the limit. We're really excited to see where we go. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? We dream big. Yeah. So we'll see where we go. But yeah, I guess it doesn't matter who you are, where you are in the world, what you're struggling with, what you're going through. You can always be a positive voice for someone, and you can always help someone. You don't need to have it all together to just be there for someone. I think it's easy to look at sort of media and kind of see these big figures and how they've got their lives together, but no one does. And it's okay that you don't too, because none of us do. But I think it's just cool that, especially this day and age, you can just film a video like this and put it online and hope to help someone. So even if it's a neighbour or someone on the other side of the world, just if you feel sort of an urge to talk to someone, to show a bit of support, you have that power. Peace. You should have said bye. Bye. See ya. See ya.